يعطيكم العافية. احنا اليوم رح يكون مؤتمر صحفي بصدد إعلان اتفاقية التعاون بين الجهاز المركزي للإحصاء الفلسطيني والمفوضية الأوروبية. فرح تكون هناك ترجمة، ورح تكون بما انه مؤتمر صحفي مع المفوضية، يعني انا بعتذر انه رح تكون كلمتنا باللغة الانجليزية، ولكن في هناك ترجمة ورح احنا نكون على استعداد لاستقبال اي اسئلة باي لغة. فبداية رح القي كلمتي باسم الجهاز المركزي للإحصاء الفلسطيني، ونعطي الكلمة للمفوضية الأوروبية، وسيكون هناك عرض بسيط حول طبيعة الاتفاقية اللي رح تكون بين الطرفين. So, good evening, Mr. Sergio Piccolo, the Head of Operations, the Office of the European Union Representative. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to have you all here on the occasion of launching the work on the second grant with the EU capacity building for the statistical program. This grant contract had entered into force since the 3rd of November 2012. It's worth mentioning that this grant is complementary to the last EU grant that covered the period between 2008-2010, as well as the Euromed regional program MedStat. PCBS also used to benefit from TAIEX, the Technical Assistance and Information Exchange Instrument, which is proved to be a very useful instrument in tackling specific technical topics. This grant will contribute to enhancing PCBS staff capacity building, as well as supporting its statistical activities, in addition to the development of the national statistical system. It will also provide the temporary job opportunities. This timely assistance from the European Union means that PCBS can implement its plans for the years 2013 and 2014, and will be able to produce socioeconomic indicators and enhance capacity of the staff. It's crucial that the results of the statistical activities are as widely disseminated as possible, so that all decision makers can make plans based on reliable and empirical data. PCBS is now preparing the new national strategy for development of statistics between the 2014-2018, in cooperation with all the national statistical system partners, line ministries, government institutions, private sector, NGOs, research centers, and universities, etc., where this grant will contribute to the achievement of the overall objective, which is developing an integrated, sustainable, and effective national statistical system. Finally, PCBS would like to express its sincere gratitude and appreciation to the EU for the grant and the continued support to the Palestinian people in general, and PCBS in particular, that contributed and would contribute to the development of the statistical work and provided a lot of statistical data necessary for all levels and a wide range of data users. Thanks for all the delegates for their coming. Thank you again, Sergio, and all the EU delegations. Thank you.
I suppose I have the floor. Ola, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. In the last couple of weeks, I'm jumping from one meeting to another with the different PA line administrations, and I'm really surprised, and it's amazing how you continue your work under the difficulties and the circumstances which are so tough and difficult for you. I don't go into detail, but I really appreciate very much that you continue your excellent work under this difficult context. Now, again, to say that I'm very pleased to be here with you. And in this background of bleak financial crisis of the PA, we remain with you. The envelope, the allocations for Palestine, which the European Parliament votes each and every year, continue to be the same, which showed that against our fiscal crisis in Europe, which is extremely difficult as yours, we continue to be with you regardless what the situation is on the ground. This means that we are continuing to allocate to Palestine 300 million a year, half of which are going through Pegas to sustain salaries and of your staff also, and also the social allowances, which are crucial to keep the social cohesion of Palestine regardless your division. Of course, we all hope that one day you overcome the division between Gaza and West Bank and East Jerusalem, and that you will have a united government one day. Now, statistics are the backbone of whatever sustainable economy, and you are doing, I think, an excellent work in order to provide all line ministries and line institutions of Palestine with the basics of understanding where are you going, where are you coming from, and what are the perspectives. You are about to set up a new PNDP. 2014-2016, I just went in a meeting with MOPAT and other donors, and this work is extremely challenging, jointly with the line ministers, MOSA, Minister of Finance, and so on. So your work is now very crucial in order to give the right elements, the right quantitative and qualitative elements in order to have this PNB credible also in terms of statistics and budgeting. Now, building, as you said, building on the previous experience of our cooperation, we just have this new grant of 1.4 million contract to support your institution for the next 2 years. I think this project aims to supporting PCBS in implementing key statistical surveys and census in order to update important socioeconomic indicators. The project also finances the procurement of equipment as well as training in selected statistical topics for your staff. In addition, it supports PCBS efforts to promote high-level statistics. The EU cooperation with your office goes even beyond this project. PCBS is also highly involved in 2 other EU cooperation programs. One important you mentioned already is MedStat 3, which promotes evidence-based decision-making and stimulates democratic development by improving availability and use of statistical data in Mediterranean partners all over. And your office is also one of the most prominent clients of our TAIEX support. TAIEX is a technical assistance and information exchange instrument that we use in all our partner countries, in Palestine in particular. Is a demand-driven instrument which facilitates the delivery of appropriate tailor-made expertise to address the specific issues in short notice. So it's a very dynamic and flexible tool which is at your disposal. PCBS is also an important participant in the formal policy dialogue between the EU and the PA that takes place in the framework of our European neighborhood policy. And I think that this today event is a celebration of your important and long-standing partnership with us and the 2 institutions. And I would like to thank again you, Ola, for the great job you are doing, and all PCBS colleagues for their cooperation, which is instrument for the success of our bilateral partnership. Thanks for your attention, and I wish you all the best to you in the next future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
مساء الخير للجميع، أهلا وسهلا بكم. كان يفترض أنه إحنا نقدم مادة عرض جاهزة، ولكن لأسباب فنية لم نتمكن من عرضها لمشكلة فنية في الجهاز العرض. المادة اللي إحنا محضرينها البرزنتيشن، مادة العرض هي باللغة الإنجليزية، وبالتالي طالما هناك ترجمة سأقرأها بدل من العرض باللغة الإنجليزية. So, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My presentation will focus on 4 main points. I'll give just short introduction on the previous grant that have been mentioned before, and the target groups of this grant, the main activities that are planned to be conducted during the years of this grant, which are 2013 and 2014, and then just some point about our future cooperation and some recommendations. So, as mentioned, this grant is a continuation of a previous grant that was signed for the years 2008 to 2010. I'm talking about the previous grant. It was contributed very effectively in implementing our national strategy for 2009 to 2013. Many temporary jobs were also created during that grant, and many visibility activities were conducted. As for targeted group of this grant, we are targeting the following groups: governmental and non-governmental institutions, planners and decision makers, UN agencies, academic and research institutes, and the public in general. The main activities of this grant, there will be 3 main activities that will be implemented during 2013 and 2014. The first one is the capacity building activities, such as training courses, technical assistance. There will be many surveys and censuses as statistical activities to be conducted. There will be also procurement of some equipment, such as handheld devices, PCs, printers, and some furniture. Within implementing these activities, there also will be visibility actions line by line while implementing these activities. For the future, we are looking for strengthening and continuing mutual cooperation and partnership between PCBS and EU, as well as other donors. This cooperation, and by receiving new grants and additional grants, we will be able to support our implementation of national strategy for development statistics activities, which is planned to be for the years 2014 to 2018. This is just in short about the presentation, and if you have any questions, please.